Hi guys and welcome to a very crowded unveil of the Toyota Innova HyCross. Now this is the first time the Innova is actually based on a monocoque construction. Gone are the body on frame days. Of course that is there with the Krista. The Krista diesel will be back on sale, but here's a look at the HyCross. You can have a look at the loud grille of the car, and this is the Innova badging. I think this is optional, so you won't get this as standard. And yeah, the Toyota logo sits nice and bright over here in the middle of the car. The car looks actually quite good. Of course there are some styling elements which are shared with which are not shared but inspired by other cars like the MG Hector, and this one gets 18-inch wheels. You get a hybrid badging over here, and here's a look at the mirror of the car. There's a small camera below the mirror, and of course from the side the Innova looks much different from the the current Innova Krista. The wheelbase is the longest at 2850 millimeters, and this one is based on the latest version of the TNGA architecture. Here's another close look at the alloy wheels of this car. The car looks quite good actually. It has a panoramic sunroof for the first time, and Innova is getting a factory fitted sunroof, and you get a shark fin antenna. Also the D-pillar design has been modified majorly, and here's a look at the rear three quarters of the car. The car looks nice. There's some extra chrome on this particular model, and it looks decent from the back, not too obnoxious or loud, and I think the design looks quite modern by Toyota standards. So you get this insert on the lower part of the bumper. There's a single exhaust tip over here, and the spare wheel is also placed below the car. So yeah, the positioning is similar to the Innova Krista. The tail lamps look quite good, and you get some ZX hybrid badging over here. This is the top end ZX variant. There will be 5 variants on offer, 2 variants with the normal 2-liter engine and 3 variants with the strong hybrid option. There is no mild hybrid tech on this car, so standard petrol and hybrid, and no manual transmission. Also only an automatic will be offered. So with the strong hybrid you will get an e-CVT. Here's a look at the boot of the car with the third row up in place. Boot capacity is quite good. You get a switch over here to toggle the light, and boot capacity is pretty decent. JBL subwoofer, and there's a small storage area beneath this tray also. Boot space seems quite nice, and here's a look at the legroom of the third row. The second row has been pushed back completely, and I'll show you the space in a bit. Let's shut this. Okay, this one gets a powered tailgate. Again, this is a first on the Innova because the Krista has a manual tailgate. So let's shut this. The design looks quite nice, and the Innova HyCross looks more SUV, less MPV now, unlike the Krista which looks very MPV-ish. And finally I'm seated in the car. You get very nice interior layout, much more premium than before. But some of these switches, they are shared with the Krista and the Fortuner, and they feel quite basic. But yeah, here's a look at the dashboard of the car. Lots of good quality materials. The steering wheel feels nice to hold, and lots of buttons over here. Also you get Toyota Sense features, basically lane keep assist. You get a blind spot monitor. You get adaptive cruise control, and a fully digital instrument cluster. Not fully digital because the gauges on the left and the right are analog units, and in the middle you get a nice big screen which is wide enough. And of course this is the key of the car. Not very different from the current key. You get the slightly redesigned rear end, but this part looks exactly the same as the Krista and the Fortuner. So here's a look at the screen of the car. Very big in size. Clarity is decent, and the responsiveness is okay, not the best. It does not have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You get wired connectivity, and the UI is also not very modern. And yeah, the screen is big, but the UI could have been more modern and in line with what we get in cars today. You get multi-zone climate control, ventilated front seats, and multi-zone basically means a different temperature setting for the front passengers and for the second row passengers. These are the switches on the side. You get a power tailgate switch over here as well. And here's a look at the camera of the car. You get a 360 view camera. The clarity is decent, again not the best, and you get the standard AC controls over here. You get a camera button, electronic parking brake, and all of these standard buttons, including the drive mode selector and the EV mode, and that is the gear knob of the car. So all of these materials and the components feel much premium compared to what we have seen on the Krista earlier, and they do uplift the appeal of the car's cabin. But again, prices could go up massively knowing Toyota, but right now they haven't revealed the prices. Here's a small mirror with a light, and I believe you get the same for the front passenger also. You also get an auto dimming IRVM. Prices will be announced by Jan, and bookings have opened right now. Deliveries will begin in 2023. The Krista diesel will be back on sale, and right now here's a look at the front left door. This is a close look at the seat. The upholstery feels nice. The quilt material is very good. Powered adjustment only for the driver seat, not for the passenger seat, and the glow box is quite small. It is a bit on the compact side, and on the center part of the dashboard over here, let me just show it to you. Okay, so you get this wireless mobile charging pad over here and some space to keep your small belongings. So that's about it. There are some softest materials on the dashboard, so that is a nice touch. And coming to the rear, this is the most important part. You get a sunshade over here, which is a nice feature, and again the quality is better than the Crista. You get electric adjustment for the rear seats, and again this is very cool. So you can slide the seat, you can open up this leg rest, so you get these Ottoman reclinable seats which are aimed at absolute comfort. So you have to use these buttons to slide the seat, open up the footrest, and even recline the seat. So nothing has to be done manually, which is a very nice thing. Of course, on the lower variants this might not be the case, but yeah, so that's about it. So let me just sit over here and show you the space. You get this climate control module over here as well, and this panel somehow feels a bit flimsy. So let me just show it to you. It is moving around a fair bit, and it feels very plasticky. Could have been finished in a better way. So knee room is amazing with the seats. Okay, here's a clean look at the dashboard first, away from all the crowd, because there are way too many people shooting just two cars. Dashboard looks very nice, premium, and I particularly like the center console. Here's a look at the knee room on offer. I'm 6 feet tall, and see the space. Of course, I have slid the seat all the way back, but this is amazing. So here's another view of me sitting in the second row seat of the Innova. I'm opening up the footrest and also reclining the seat, so to get the full 5-star experience. So chauffeur driven people, they are going to love this for sure. And the Innova has a lot of chauffeur driven customers who like to travel in style like this. So yeah, it is going to be a hit, and I know no matter what the price of the car is, sales are going to be high. So this was the second row of the Toyota Innova HyCross. Of course, these controls take some time to respond. They are very slow, but that's about it. And now let's see the third row comfort. The seat can be slid forward completely, and I'm in the third row of the car. Space levels are decent. You get space levels are decent actually over here, and with the second row seat slid all the way back, space is very limited, almost negligible. You get 2 cup holders. You get a 3-point seat belt even for the third row middle passenger. Yeah, so Toyota probably expects 3 people to sit here, and that might actually be possible because space is actually quite good and much better than what we have seen on other SUVs and MPVs of this price range. You get 3 adjustable headrests even for the third row passengers. Again, a very good thing. And the overall layout of the cabin is very practical. So you get cup holders on this side. Also, getting in is easy, getting out is a bit tricky. You get AC vents for the third row passengers, and of course this massive sunroof. So if you bring the second row seat back in place, let me just show you the legroom on offer. This is the legroom that you get with the second row back in place, and still it is very decent, one of the best, and of course slightly lesser than the Crista. The Crista has slightly better space management for the third row. This is still very good, and we'll do a long road test to check the comfort in real levels. This gets a fully flat floor and seat height adjustment. This is the boot capacity with the third row folded. Lots of space and practicality on offer. So that was a first look at the Innova HyCross. What do you think about this MPV? Let me know in the comment section below. We'll drive the car very soon.